Raven Lene, Love Me Not will be the next track you will hear. So we've been chatting all about whether or not you think it could all change of kids getting out and about and playing a little bit more. Because years ago, kids would spend weekends and evenings playing outside with friends, but it's a lot rarer now. There may be changes on the way, though, because the government is being urged to ban signs that prohibit ball games and find ways of getting children back outside and playing. It's called the Raising the Nation Play Commission, and it says that factors include busier roads and too much screen time are contributing to a decline in health and well-being. And I wanted to know what you think about that. Well, Reese got in touch. Reese said, the grass is so long where he lives. He lives opposite a park and he can't go out and play. He says his stepson is 14, used to play on the park all the time when he grew up. But Teddy is 6 and we've been on a park only 3 times in his life. If we want to go and play football or play catch, then we have to actually go and find a football pitch to go and play on. So he's saying that, can't get kids outside to play no matter how important it is, and is calling for, the area where he lives to have the grass cut. So that's another factor of getting out and about. So if you want to share your thoughts on this, then please do. You can WhatsApp, text me, or give me a ring if you'd like to share your thoughts on this. Well, Claire Clements is a mum, but also from Positive Pants, which is an organisation which is focusing on children's mental health. And Claire is here. Hi, Claire.
Hi there.
So, Claire, just tell us a little bit about Positive Pants and how, you help towards children's mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. So Positive Pants it's a mindset, really. That phrase, put on your positive pants, those days when we're kind of struggling with things. It's kind of remembering that there are things that we can always do to help ourselves. I work one-to-one with children and parents, families, schools, etc., to help them to empower themselves, really, to find techniques to help them to improve their own mental health and well-being.
And what do you think about this? Do you think the fact that kids aren't playing outside as much is having an impact on their health and well-being?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we had a big sort of surge of people going outside, obviously, when we had the pandemic. And I think, the difficulty is for parents is we're so busy nowadays, sort of spare minute when you're not working, you're sort of thinking, I need to be putting the washing on, I need to be cooking dinner, I need to be doing this. And often we do neglect how important for our mental health and well-being and also our physical health that actually getting outside can be. And it doesn't have to be that you're going out, for hours on a hike or a walk. It could just be some very sort of simple, short periods of time that we go outside and do an activity, whether that's physical, whether that's creative, whether that's mindful. There are little ways that we can bring those into our sort of world, no matter what our situation is. And it's really, really important.
Now, we mentioned Positive Pants, which is obviously an organisation that works towards children's mental health, but you are a mum as well, Claire. So just talk us through, how much you try and get your kids outside and what they, benefit from that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, actually, because Eli is 14 and a half. They are at that age when they don't always want to be going outside. They're not particularly the most sportiest child in the world. But, they do love going out on their skateboard. They love walking around the town, meeting their friends. And I think, these things are really, really important to encourage. And particularly in a world where we've got lots of safety concerns, busy roads, sort of people are a little bit fearful of what can happen to your child when outside. For me, I really think that if we can actually bring children up to be sort of very aware of what's around them, to be safety conscious, but to actually have a little bit of independence. Again, really, really important so that our children can go outside, whether we're able to with them or not, and kind of think outside of the box of, it's not that you're just going out to play football, for example. There are so many other things that we can do.
Have you got some tips for us, Claire, or top, things we can do?
I have indeed. So, for example, I've just been working one-to-one with a child this afternoon, and I said, where do you want to sit today? And we'll do the session. And we sat outside on the bench just so that we could get some fresh air. I have a pack of positive mindset cards that were released a couple of months ago. They are 33 different wellbeing activities and affirmations that you can do with your child. Some are sort of creative. Some are physical, some are outside. Some of the outdoor ones that you could do are simply things like going around and collecting some stones and then doing some painting on them, painting positive words or pictures. Or going on a little trail and picking all the leaves that you can find, the different types of leaves, and making a picture out of them. Or even just kicking a ball, and every time you kick the ball, you say something positive about yourself or about the other person. There's lots of things that we can do to be creative. And yeah, I've got hundreds of other examples.
No, we appreciate it. I completely understand that you'll have loads. Claire, thank you so much for coming on and explaining that to us and chatting to us all about positive pants, and also just reacting to the news about the government being urged to ban signs that prohibit ball games and find ways of getting kids back outside. What do you think then? What do you reckon about this?